Hi, everybody. We're talking today about mentor programs that some companies are putting into place, and definitely some great results from some of those. Veronica Combs here to talk a little bit more about that, about this. And Veronica, some big name companies that we are hearing about that have these mentor programs in place that seem, to be really advantageous for the employees and the employer.
Yes, yes. I talked to PayPal and Zynga and GE and 3M just to get an idea of how it works. And it was really interesting talking to everyone. PayPal has a real formal program. They have, like a meetup almost for people to get together, meet one another, maybe pair off. They have some group sessions. They have individual sessions. They have programs designed for like director level people who might want to move up to the VP level. They have things for more entry level folks to try to get to know the senior leadership. So theirs is very planned and formal. I also talked to the woman who's in charge of basically all the operations at 3M, Rebecca Teeters. She's responsible for everything from sourcing materials to delivering them to people. So she has 55,000 people on her team. And their program at 3M is very informal. Basically, you say, hey, I want to work in supply chain. Can you tell me how your career has gone? And I said to her, well, do people really make time for that? I mean, sometimes it's really hard to get time on someone's calendar. And she said that at 3M, it's just sharing knowledge and trading information is just a corporate value, and people always say yes. So, and she said she's worked with people in marketing and people also in supply chain, and she's helped her own colleagues find mentors. So it was interesting to see how something informal could work as well as something really planned out and scheduled.
Yeah, and does it seem like there's a little bit of both as far as being a more structured plan, and then some that just kind of say, hey, yeah, meet up with somebody if that's something that may interest you?
I think it definitely tended toward the formal. Um, so instead of, as well as mentor programs, companies also have employee resource groups. And those are more for a certain demographic. So I talked to two folks at GE. One works in their military division and the other in gas and power. And they are both members of the African American Forum, which is almost 30 years old. And it does a lot of sort of community building and mentoring and coaching and things like that. They have like a seminar once a year that brings everyone together. And I think for those folks, it was more about building community within a company that's as big as GE. So it wasn't necessarily finding up with a mentor, meeting up with a mentor, but it was definitely about finding people who maybe, have had some of the same experiences you have, people who've paved the way. There's a scholarship fund named for a GE leader who was a Black American, and they raise money for that, and they give the scholarships out. And the folks that I talked to said it was just a really powerful place to build community and to get some empathy and to figure out next steps and to sort of commiserate over the challenges of working in such a big organization.
And did you find, Veronica, and talking to some of them, that they see that they have a better retention rate by having these programs in place?
Well, I looked at some research to write the article, and it actually found that it's better at getting women and people of color into management ranks than almost any other diversity program. When you think of diversity, sometimes it comes across as tokenism, I think, but this sort of process of pairing a senior leader with a younger person seems to do more to sort of build connections within the company and encourage people to stay around. So mentoring has had a good impact on keeping people at the company, because it's really expensive to replace someone. So if you can keep someone, that's always a good thing. But then also getting Black people and women and Latinx people into the ranks of management, it also has a really, really good impact there as well. I think it was ranged from like 5% to 8% increase, depending on the company and things like that, but an increase in getting underrepresented people into the ranks of management, which is pretty good when you're talking about programs like that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, I know you've got a good bit of information there about the different companies, what they're doing, all of that on Tech Republic. And we hope all of you will check out the full story there. And we appreciate you watching today.